Last early summer, Anaisu encountered Chenlibo and Bing Bang. Anaisu first met Chenlibo. That day, the school held a job fair in collaboration with dozens of companies. As Anaisu walked through the venue, a middle-aged stranger, smiling, greeted her. In his gestures and expressions, he was gentle and polite, giving off a comfortable and friendly vibe. Although Anaisu was about to graduate, she had no intention of looking for a job. "It's okay, add me on WeChat, making a friend is good too," the man said while handing her his business card. Anaisu glanced at it, Chenlibo, manager of Libo Culture and Travel Company. After that, the two had occasional communication. Chenlibo was gentle yet humorous, and his casual flirtations made Anaisu wonder if she had developed feelings for him. As graduation approached, just as Anaisu stepped out of the campus, Chenlibo drove up to her. "Get in. I want to give you a small gift," Chenlibo said. "Don't ask what it is, it's a secret for now." After a winding journey, they arrived at a quiet and elegant countryside courtyard. Behind the courtyard, lush greenery. In the courtyard, flowers and plants were in full bloom. With just a moment of surprise, Anaisu joyfully turned around and gave Chenlibo a big hug. "Manager Chen, thank you. Call me Libo." Chenlibo, with a teasing smile, almost bit Anaisu's earlobe as he continued, "Sorry, my company is still in the early stages, funds are tight, so I could only rent this house for you. Trust me, when the company grows, I will definitely buy it and give it to you. Susu, I like you. I like this courtyard, genuinely like it. By the way, how much is the rent? I'll pay for it myself." When Anaisu pushed away Chenlibo's advances and gave this answer, Bing Bing, limping on one leg, timidly approached the courtyard gate. Bing Bing was a dog. Not a golden retriever or a husky, just a dirty rural dog abandoned by someone. Although it had a very high-end name, Chinese pastoral dog. Anaisu was quite literary, fond of tranquility, and her biggest wish was to choose a rural place, away from the hustle and bustle, to focus on writing. She wanted to write stories that could move her to tears but make others laugh, stories about scholars and beauties, and romantic tales of the four seasons. When tired of writing, she would drink coffee in the yard, plant flowers, and ideally, have a well-behaved and entertaining dog. As fate would have it, Bing Bang arrived. Seeing its silly appearance, Anaisu gave it a name that matched, Bing Bang. After Chenlibo left, Anaisu fed Bing Bang, gave it a bath, and trimmed its messy fur. Once cleaned up, the whole dog immediately became lively. However, its left hind leg was severely twisted. Probably abused. "Bing Bing, my name is Susu. From now on, I'm your owner." Nishushit. Interestingly, Bing Bing seemed to understand. It even wagged its tail and obediently lay down at her feet. Anaisu found it amusing, patted its head, and issued a solemn warning. "From now on, I won't take you out. You are not allowed to run around, let alone seduce female dogs, okay?" Bing Bang was very obedient, never pulling around when going out. But people, it seemed, were not so reliable. About half a month later, Anaisu went to the city to buy daily necessities. As soon as she met Chenlibo, a woman with exaggerated makeup rushed towards them, glaring at Anaisu aggressively. "Chenlibo, who is she?" "Xiaoyun, don't think too much. She's Anaisu, my friend." "Friend? Don't play dumb, friends with benefits, right?" The woman called Xiaoyun sneered, and even tried to scratch Anaisu. Fortunately, Chenlibo reacted quickly and pushed her away. Now, Xiaoyun was thoroughly angered and slapped him hard. "You bastard, the company is bankrupt, everything is lost, and you still have the nerve to fool around? Go fool around with your little lover. We're done." A refined middle-aged man over 30, even if unmarried and without a wife, must surely have a girlfriend. Otherwise, there's something wrong with him. Anaisu had thought about this more than once. Therefore, when she first arrived at the rural courtyard and Chenlibo confessed his feelings, Anaisu avoided this topic. Seeing Xiaoyun running away, Anaisu chased after her. She had to tell her that no matter how much she liked Chenlibo, she would never stoop to being the third wheel, allowing herself to be humiliated and treated like a pawn. But to her surprise, just as she turned the street corner, she saw Xiaoyun getting into a car and giving a passionate kiss to the bald car owner. Mouth to mouth. Then, with a step on the gas pedal, they sped away. For a moment, Anaisu was stunned. This scene was too mind-boggling. What on earth was happening? "Susu, My company has collapsed. In a private room of a restaurant on the street, Chen Libo, with red eyes, said, Xiaoyun is my girlfriend. The person in the car is my best buddy, a business partner. Don't laugh at me. They teamed up, shorted the company, and pushed the blame onto me. Anaisu thought to herself, they not only teamed up but also made his head all green. It was really pitiful. The company is gone, the money is gone, the girlfriend is gone, and my buddy is gone. Even your monthly rent of 800 or 900, I'm afraid I can't afford it anymore. Do you think I'm stupid? Stupid enough to not know my place, and still dare to say I like you. A poor guy, what qualifications do I have to say I like you? I'm sorry, take care. Chen Libo murmured, tears about to fall. Just as he stood up to leave, Anaisu suddenly hugged him from behind. Libo, don't say you have nothing. You still have me. I like you. Come home with me. Anaisu, a self-media writer with modest income, couldn't help Chen Libo much, but she could manage the rent and basic needs. Chen Libo didn't sink into despair either, he quickly gathered himself and continued his entrepreneurial journey. However, when busy, he often didn't return to the rural courtyard for 10 days or more. Winter passed and spring came. In the blink of an eye, a year had gone by. One day, Anaisu received a substantial payment for her articles. After taking care of Bing Bing, she excitedly went into the city, planning to give Chen Libo a surprise. Little did she know, as she stood at the street corner, just after dialing Chen Libo's number, a figure she found extremely familiar appeared in her peripheral vision. It was Chen Libo. Chen Libo held the hand of a 7 or 8-year-old girl in his left hand, and on his right, he carefully protected a pregnant woman. Judging by the pregnant woman's belly, she was at least 7 or 8 months along. This heartwarming scene burned into Anaisu's eyes. In a daze for a moment, Anaisu called Chen Libo. One had to admit, Chen Libo was really experienced. He smiled and whispered a few words to the pregnant woman, then walked to the side. Hello, I'm Chen Libo. Where are you? Nishwaskip. At the company, with clients. Chen Libo said, I'm a bit busy, I'll call you back later. No need, you're busy. After saying this, Anaisu took a photo of Chen Libo's family of 3 or 4 walking hand in hand and sent it to him. Then she turned and disappeared at the end of the alley. This was truly an unexpected turn of events. Fortunately, it was discovered early, it's better to end it quickly. Anaisu didn't cry, didn't scold, and didn't demand an explanation. Well, who could she blame for encountering such an unfortunate person? The next day, after settling the rent with the landlord, Anaisu faced a dilemma, what to do with Bang Bang. She had raised it for a year, and their bond had deepened. She remembered when she first adopted it, often waking up in the middle of the night to find it lying in front of her bed, staring at her with a pair of round, shiny eyes. Anaisu guessed that perhaps it had roamed the streets for too long, had been beaten and starved, and was worried she might abandon it again. So it guarded her, never leaving her side. Now, she had to leave it behind. Although it was far more reliable than him. Bing Bing, I'm going back to my hometown in the south. The journey is long, and dogs are not allowed on the train. You go, okay? Anaisu's heart felt sour as she caressed Bing Bing's head. Bing Bing whined and circled around her, sniffing her shoes, refusing to leave. Hesitating, Anaisu still ruthlessly drove Bing Bing away, dragging her suitcase out of the rural courtyard. Not long after, she heard Bing Bing following. She walked, it walked, she stopped, it stopped, neither too close nor too far, pitifully gazing at her. Go away. I've told you, I don't want you anymore. While shouting, Anaisu bent down, picked up a clod of dirt, and threw it. Bing Bing, being truly foolish, didn't know to dodge and got hit on the head with a thud. Despite her lack of effort, Anaisu felt a sharp pain in her heart and cried out, Bing Bing, I beg you, please don't follow me anymore, okay? This time, Bing Bing truly stopped. In his round, watery eyes, there were shining tears. Anaisu knew, those were tears. Dogs could cry too. But in her heart, she repeatedly told herself to be a little more resilient. When she passed through the forest ahead and reached the station, boarded the train, everything that happened here, the people she loved, the dogs she raised, the courtyard she lived in, and the heartache she endured, would all become the past, never to be remembered again. Bing Bing walked back. Bing Bang wasn't foolish, it should know that Anaisu didn't want it anymore. Anaisu, on the other hand, turned around and walked into the woods. Just as she turned, tears uncontrollably streamed down her face. As she walked, behind her, there was a faint rustling sound. Enisu thought it was Bing Bing, so she didn't look back and quickened her pace. However, the noise grew louder, closer, and mixed with heavy panting. It wasn't a dog, it was a person. Enisu had a bad feeling. Just as she turned around, she saw a bald man sneering and approaching, holding a short stick. He looked familiar, as if she had seen him somewhere. Suddenly, Enisu remembered that last year, after Xiaoyun, Chen Libo's girlfriend, clashed with her, she got into his car. Yes, he was the one who mouthed Xiaoyun. "Who are you? What do you want?" "Of course, I'll do whatever the hell I want." Enisu was both shocked and afraid. Panicking, she tried to run, but she tripped and fell. The bald beast pounced on her, tearing her clothes mercilessly. "Don't be afraid, Bing Bang is here." Limping on one leg, it barked and rushed over. Bing Bang was fierce, opening its mouth and tightly biting the bald man's arm. The bald man winced in pain, lifted the short stick, and repeatedly struck Bing Bang. Until Bing Bang's head was covered in blood, and it fainted. Seizing the opportunity, Enisu escaped, crying loudly, and called the police. "Help! Help me, save Bing Bang." The bald man fled in panic but was soon captured and taken into custody. On that day, after recording her statement at the police station, Enisu unexpectedly encountered Xiaoyun, Chen Libo's ex-girlfriend. She was also there to give her statement. "We were all deceived by him. He has a family, a wife," Enisu blurted out. Xiaoyun sneered and taunted, "You were deceived by him. Miss Ni, do you know what it means to be taken advantage of for free?" "Chen Libo, exactly. This perverted scoundrel deceived you, an artistic female college student. Beautiful but not materialistic, euphemistically called simple, plainly speaking, lacking brains, easy to deceive. So every graduation season, he goes for recruitment. And you, too. He scans your moments, catches your weakness, easily impresses you by renting a house for 100 yuan, and hires me and the bald guy for a breakup scene, effortlessly getting you hooked. Ever wonder why he stages these scenes? 1. His girlfriend leaves, the middle-aged man is single, luring you to actively offer yourself. 2. The company collapses, unable to help you with the rent. He freeloads off you without spending a penny, and you have to take care of his food and shelter. Quite despicable, right? 3. Under the pretext of starting a new business, working overtime and going on business trips, he actually goes home to be with his wife and children. The bald guy has done time in prison, not a good person, often helping Chen Libo deal with messy situations. This time he wanted to succeed, filmed a video to blackmail you, and, being a literary girl, are you going to expose the ugly truth and denounce them? Well, the fairies who fell for it before have all kept silent and disappeared. With a smirk, Xiaoyun leaned close to Enisu's ear and said, "Me too. I didn't dare before, but now that something has happened, I must kick them while they're down, expose all the disgusting things they've done, and let them face the consequences. Oh, by the way, Chen Libo's company didn't go bankrupt, it's thriving with abundant wealth." Who could believe that the truth was so cunning and ugly? Nishu Westend. A week later, Enisu set out for the station again to return to her hometown. Alongside her was Bing Bang. In addition to the previously injured leg, Bing Bang's ear had now been torn off. It was the result of the bald man's attack. Fortunately, it had a strong vitality and miraculously survived. It was said that it had been vaccinated and quarantined, so it could be shipped by train. Even if it couldn't, Enisu had made up her mind. Even if she had to walk back to the south, she would never leave it behind again. Halfway there, a pregnant woman stood in her way. It was Chen Libo's wife. "Miss I'm here to plead with you. You don't understand Libo. He is kind-hearted and warm, and his mistakes are just momentary confusion. Please go say a good word for him and get him released. Can you?" Enisu didn't respond, but bypassed her. "Enisu, you're truly heartless. Can you bear to watch his company collapse, and when my child is born, not see his father?" she questioned. The accusations fell on deaf ears as Enisu walked away without turning back. In her heart, she thought, "Am I heartless? A scumbag is worse than a dog, good luck to him. Goodbye. No, never to see again."